let's try.
Yeah. That we had some technical difficulties, and I got back just in time to see this take here. This looked pretty scary. Um, I can't. I don't even know if too much to understand whether Red can win this enough or not. It just looks like a pretty hopeless pass to me. Again, even though we're leading a whole bunch, there's not a lot of gammons at risk, so that's maybe the argument that Red had in his head as well, taking this. But looks very difficult to win this game. If he does win an unlikely gammon, it's going to take him straight to the Crawford score, which is very valuable to the leaders still. The 1-6 is that's a nice shot. I don't know if it's going to be enough to. He definitely has to come out because he gets hit less back there. I don't think he's got enough in the race to re-whip this or anything like that. But he's got some hope. And he's certainly not getting gammon now, right? It's impossible. Someone do the math on that for me. Probably possible, but okay, 4-3. So a simple race. That's a common thing. I think it's, without studying some of the match equities and take points and things like that, the natural reaction is to just take a lot deeper. But it depends on the kind of game. You almost always have to have a lot more. You still have winning chances, right? And a lot of times you can adjust based on gammons. Again, this is all variable, but especially on an initial cube, pretty rare that you're gonna take with as low of winning chances as we did here, or at least as it appears to me. I think in those kind of situations, even if the race is close, you still have to roll a number when you don't get pointed on. You still have to roll a number to escape the prime, which only happens maybe a third of the time. And then your opponent gets another chance to just close you out. So these are very tough ones to win with that single checker back. But again, that's kind of the basic instinct with it, is just I'm trailing a bunch. I got to get lucky. I got to make something happen. But it's better to just give up your point and find a space where you can threaten some gammons and send a cube that way. But okay, it looks awful likely that we're going to end at 16-4, so 3 away, 15 away. And at that score, it's going to be almost impossible for, well, it's going to be very rare for White to find a cube before basically the end of the game. Until all the volatility's out, and he's not going to have to think about getting a recube. Too easy to send back since he can't get the full value of that 4 cube once it comes back, and if there's any gammon threat, they only go one way at that point. So yeah, 3 away is a score where you don't want to see a cube in play for the most part. But okay, we're going to take a short break here. Too bad they didn't do that when we lost all our audio and video too, but I'll take a short break as well while they get ready to finish out this match. Long road ahead of them for Fabrizio on the red side. Yeah, on break. We can talk about stuff if you want.
BackgammonGalaxy.com presents Beginner's Mistakes in Backgammon, an exclusive tutorial. Lesson number 8. Don't play aggressively when you're weak. The main feature to look at when deciding whether to make a safe or an aggressive play is the strength of each player's homeboard.
The player with the strongest homeboard can play more boldly, aggressively, and flexible. The player with the weakest homeboard should always be cautious and play it safe.
Why is this so? Well, in case we get into a hitting contest, the player with the strongest homeboard will have a clear advantage. In this position, your opponent has the strongest homeboard, 4 anchors versus 2 anchors. This calls for safe play on your end. Getting into a hitting contest when you're outmatched in board strength is a very dangerous idea, and usually a bad strategy. The best move is 13-8, eliminating the risk of getting hit right now and hoping for some better rolls later on. In this position, your opponent has a very weak homeboard. He even has a blot in there that you might be able to hit in case you yourself get hit. The best move here is the aggressive 8-4 hit, and 6-5 to create flexibility. With this move, you're fighting for the next point in your prime, and you're trying to prevent your opponent from making an advanced anchor at the edge of your prime. If you didn't consider this move, then you should start playing more aggressively from now on. Backgammon is a game of balance between offense and defense. When your opponent is strong, you must play it safe and make defensive moves. When he's weak and you're strong, you should play aggressively to build an even stronger position. BackgammonGalaxy.com. Play among the stars.
Available on browser, tablet, and smartphone. Subscribe to see more backgammon videos. Tell us which backgammon videos you want to see.
BackgammonGalaxy.com presents Beginner's Mistakes in Backgammon, an exclusive tutorial. Lesson number 1. Don't bury your checkers. To bury a checker is to play a checker down to the deeper points in your homeboard, so it can't be used for making new points or hitting your opponent's checkers for the rest of the game. In this position, a beginner might be tempted to bury a checker. Moving a checker from the 6 point to the 2 or 1 point is a big blunder. This checker will be buried for the rest of the game. You should aim to conquer the open points in front of your opponent's rearmost checkers. That's why the correct move is 13-8. It keeps all your checkers alive and provides a useful builder on the 8 point to help you close the 7, 5, or 4 point on your next roll.
If you bury checkers, you'll have fewer checkers to move the rest of the game, which decreases your flexibility, safety, and ability to build a prime. You only have 15 checkers in total, so use every single one of them as efficiently as possible.
In backgammon, there's a term called crunching. This is when your checkers are forced to be buried while the priming battle is still on, and it's the worst possible positional disadvantage. When you're priming your opponent, you want him to crunch his front position while keeping him trapped. This will effectively win you the game almost every time.
Avoid crunching at all costs, especially early in the game. In the endgame, we might be forced to crunch if the alternatives are too risky.
BackgammonGalaxy.com. Play among the stars.
Available on browser, tablet, and smartphone. Subscribe to see more backgammon videos. Tell us which backgammon videos you want to see.
BackgammonGalaxy.com presents Beginner's Mistakes in Backgammon, an exclusive tutorial. Lesson number 11. Don't move without a game plan. Always have a clear plan in mind on how to win the game. Often, you'll have some difficult decisions because of the randomness of the dice, but you should always make the best of it. Let's talk strategy. There are 4 fundamental game plans in Backgammon. Each of them represents a way of winning the game: Prime, Blitz, Race, and Contact. Prime. In this position, you're winning the game by blocking your opponent's checkers with a solid 5-point prime. 5 prime for short. In this position, you don't care much about the race, as long as you're keeping your opponent trapped. To win the game from this position, you should try to extend your prime to become a 6 prime, and also bring your checkers home, while keeping your opponent trapped. Blitz. In this position, you're winning by making a blitz attack. You should keep attacking and make inner points. Best case is to hit your opponent while also making inner points. But if that's not possible, you should just hit loose and try to cover your blot on your next roll.
If you get hit during your blitz attack, you'll lose initiative, which might end the blitz.
Since you've made some deep points, you don't have a prime to block your opponent. This excludes the prime game plan from this game. Either you'll close out your opponent completely by making a full home board, or your opponent survives the blitz by anchoring up and you'll try to win by racing instead.
Blitz is especially good for winning gammons, but if it fails, you'll often be left with poor flexibility due to all the buried or semi-buried checkers. Furthermore, you'll only have one game plan left to choose from, racing, because a failed blitz attack will often put you ahead in the race.
Race. In this position, you're winning the game by racing. You're leading 14 pips before the move, which is a big advantage. Make sure to place your checkers well diversified in your home board, so when reaching bear off, you'll be able to bear them off quickly. Contact. When all of your offensive game plans fail, your last chance of winning the game is through contact. As long as you have contact with your opponent's checkers, you'll have a chance of hitting a late shot, thereby turning the game around. In this position, you're in a 20-point holding game. You're way behind in the race, so you'd have to be extremely lucky to win the game if you decide to race. Your best bet is to stay back on the 20-point anchor and try to hit a shot. Note that your opponent is way ahead in the race, so his game plan is naturally to race. If he can bring all his checkers home safely, he's in a winning position. He doesn't even have to prime or blitz. He should simply race.
Every time you make a move, ask yourself which of the 4 fundamental game plans you're going for. Strive to make moves that support your game plan. Always make the most of the random dice rolls you're given.
BackgammonGalaxy.com. Play among the stars.
Available on browser, tablet, and smartphone. Subscribe to see more Backgammon videos. Tell us which Backgammon videos you want to see.
BackgammonGalaxy.com presents Beginner's Mistakes in Backgammon, an exclusive tutorial. Lesson number